Hi, welcome to Martin Gardens. It is June the 6th, so it's been a little bit since I've updated you, but the garden is flourishing and I would love to show you around. So, here we have all the things. The kale, which has been somewhat chewed at by the wildlife. There have been a lot of bunnies around, but I haven't seen that darn groundhog, so maybe he's gone. My cherry tomatoes, which are already starting to have little flowers on them. My peppers, my marigolds. These are my Roma tomatoes and my eggplants. Some are bigger than others, like that eggplant back there isn't quite as big. Marigolds still doing great. Still lots of blooms, lots of growth. My cucumbers, now some of them look a bit sad, but even at that, like this is the really sad one, but even at that, like there's a little flower on that guy. So I'm just gonna keep watering him and seeing what happens. These ones on the end, I think this must be a different variety than the others because they've just taken off. I did have to help up with zip ties so they could start finding the trellis. But look at that, they're working up. I didn't do that. This guy might still need some encouragement, but we'll give him some water and he'll make it. He'll do good. The peas in the back, I am pretty sure that I planted these way too late in the season because it is actually time for beans now. I will say, when I put these in, they were not long enough to reach the trellis. This one over here, actually I should say this one over here, just straight up died. This one is still not tall enough to reach the trellis, but also you can tell has been chewed on. I never saw any flowers with these guys ever. However, you might have noticed, there's a bean pod. Like, that's a snow pea. That's what I was trying to grow here. And still not long enough to actually reach. So I did this all wrong. And I guess I think I will just start over with beans to try to utilize the space better. I have seen where on like some of these there will be like a little starting that looks like a flower more than a bean pod to me. Some of these do look like flowers, but I don't know. I think I failed with the peas this year. So I'm gonna do beans instead because we'll try our hand at that. The lettuce I also planted out here too late, honestly, but one of these heads is doing nicely. The other two are not dead, but that's about all that can be said for them. Right here and over there. But besides that, everything else in the garden is flourishing. More cherry tomatoes, more peppers. Peppers, for me anyway, are always kind of slow growing. So over the past several weeks, they definitely look bigger than when I planted them out as seedlings, but the cherry tomatoes, all the tomatoes actually by contrast, have grown so much. I always end up feeling like my peppers take forever. The butternut squash doing phenomenally. And again, I've never grown these before, so like these guys are shooting out long things, and I don't know if eventually I'm gonna have to like turn them and let them grow into the yard. I don't think Andrew will like that, so we might have to rethink that. But those are the butternut squash, some marigolds on the side just to attract pollinators, the extra Roma, the extra cherry, and these are the Thai hot chili peppers. And they're really big. I had to stake them up because my peppers from early years too have kind of fallen over. I'm not really sure what to do about that. We did have one tragedy earlier. These tomatoes are growing really well, but the one that had been in this pot Tragically, I think the wind had snapped it over, and it literally snapped the stem of it right by the root. This was like a week or two ago. So luckily, I had an extra big tomato seedling that was just too big. It was too big for me to let it go when it was a seedling, so I continued to grow it. So I was able to replace that one. So it's clearly not as big as its companions, but it'll be fine. And then this over here is very exciting. This is all the zucchini, and they have started to put out big old flowers. Mostly just the one, but I'm so excited. The okra back there is not thriving, but definitely still alive. Okra also takes a little while to get going. Grows a little bit later in the season for us around here. And then a bunch of peppers and another eggplant. I'm not sure why this one is not growing at the rate of the others, but maybe it's the soil mix that I used. So I don't know. Oh, and hi.
Hi. I'm leaving.
It's Andrew. Okay, bye. And actually, I'm going to go around this. No, I'm going to go through the garage and show you the garlic and the artichoke, the Jerusalem artichokes, or sunchokes. Please ignore the state of my garage. There's the thing that almost pokes me every time I open this door. Here. Okay. And here's the garlic. So these guys on the right of the bed are all the hardneck variety, and this is where I got the garlic scapes from that I mentioned. Well, I mentioned to some people. I didn't mention them in a video, unfortunately. And these are all the soft neck variety. And they do look a little bit dry, and you'll notice that one of them, a couple of them actually, are slanting in this direction. And I can tell you that is because we had some intense winds coming from that way and kind of just like bent them over. Over here, I finally put the divider, the little barrier thing up around the outside, but these are the Jerusalem artichokes, grown a little bit bigger so you can see them now. It's these big bushy, I mean there's still quite a bit of weeds in the back, but these bushy ones are the Jerusalem artichokes. And I sectioned them off so that they wouldn't get mowed again. One other tragedy that happened is cherries. Kind of like every year for the last 2, maybe 3 years, they were not even starting to turn red before, I can only assume, birds came and decimated the whole crop. Not the tree. I mean, the tree's doing great. I love the tree. But there are no cherries of any description on there anymore. But that's life. Oh, I should also show you what I had mentioned in a previous video, I think. Oh, real quick. One of these azalea bushes, we had a really big storm, like a really big storm, many weeks ago. And it actually kind of uprooted this azalea. Like you can kind of see, it got uprooted. And it like bent over into the yard. And I thought the thing would just die. But no, it's just, this is where it lives now. And it's rather intrusive. And I don't know what to do about it, but I also don't like just like ripping things out, especially because it's been hiding the fact that we don't have shutters on that window. And also those shutters are like falling apart. It is shameful actually. But anyway, over here, all these spiky bits here are raspberries. They are raspberries growing. And over here, you can actually see the raspberry flowers and some actual raspberries starting to come in. Baby raspberries. They need to grow and ripen more, but they're going to turn into real raspberries that I'm going to eat. And then over here is the mint bed that we have not done a darn thing with. Still very full of mint, but also there's some like random plants that really ought not be there, including that oak and those oaks. And this end is just mostly things that are not mint. But every once in a while you will see a mint fighting for its life. Anyway, you can't be good at everything, you know. Anyway, that's the garden so far. I hope you enjoyed visiting. Oh, I still have not planted any potatoes in that pot, but maybe I'll get around to it, or maybe I won't, and it'll just sit there helping that area be a little more symmetrical. Anyway, I have so much work to do, so I gotta go. But okay, I love you. Bye!